Hello, hello, friends. I am so excited to be chatting with you today. Today we're just going to do a really casual hangout time. We're doing a live Q&A to answer any and all questions that you have about starting a virtual assistant business, about scaling a virtual assistant business, about choosing your pricing, your packages, and of course about the Savvy system. The Savvy system is open right now. We've had, I think, over 200 people. Yes, over 200 already come in over the last few days. And it's so exciting because we just love having this momentum, like the amount that is happening inside of our groups. People are excited. They are coming in, choosing their packages, going and putting those building blocks of their business in place, and it's so fun to be a part of. So super excited if you guys have questions, whatever you have questions about today, whether it is building your business, whether it is scaling, whether it's about the Savvy system specifically, then I want to answer them. So go ahead, guys, start dropping questions as we're talking. Big announcement. If you don't already know, like I mentioned, the Savvy system is open for enrollment. Now, we only open this course 2 times a year, and we will not open it again for a live launch like this until September. So if you've been thinking about starting a virtual assistant business, this is definitely the time to jump in, and I'm happy to answer any and all questions that you guys have about the course or what we'll be going through. Okay. Now, I also want to mention we last week did this really incredible webinar called Replace Your Income with Virtual Assistants. And we actually had a bunch of people that weren't able to watch the replay and asked for another rendition of it, the ability to watch it again. So we do have another opportunity to watch that webinar at thevirtualsavvy.com/encore. So you guys can come in, you can watch that webinar training as well. We're talking all about scaling your business, all about marketing, all about the pricing and packaging that you need in order to get started. So just two quick announcements before we jump in to that live Q&A time. So what questions do you have for me? What questions do you have about virtual assistants? I know that starting a virtual assistant business can be scary. It could be really overwhelming, and we can feel like we are alone or that we are stuck. So where are you at? And I'd love to know this in the chat too. Where are you guys at? Those of you who have tuned in your business, where are you getting stuck? Where is that point where you're just like, oh, I just can't get over this hurdle? It might be a practical hurdle, right? It might be, man, I just don't actually know, like, am I supposed to start an LLC? Should I trademark my business name? What do examples of pricing and packaging look like? Things like that are just really practical hurdles that you may be facing right now. You may have a mental hurdle. You may be going, hey, I feel good about the plan. Like, I know what practically I need to do, but I just can't get over blank. I just can't get over the idea of marketing myself. I just can't get over that concept. Do I really have skills that paying clients want? Whatever mental hurdle you may be facing, let's talk about it. Okay. This is the time to do that. So drop your questions in the chat. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So we have one of our members saying, I have my LLC. I've been going since 2021, not a single client. It's where I'm stuck. So you're asking about how to get clients. So I'd love to know, what are you doing right now as far as marketing goes? Because there's a lot of things that you can do to market your business, many of which, and I'll actually bring you inside the Savvy system here in a little bit to show you what we cover there, because there's a lot to marketing, right? Marketing your business is not just I'm going to throw this out on social. I'm going to, tell a couple people, and then the clients are going to come flooding in. In the very beginning of your business, it is active marketing. One of the things we talk about is the difference between passive marketing and active marketing. And passive marketing is like, hey, I made a website, or hey, I made a Facebook page and I post to my Facebook page 5 times a day. The reality is that those passive marketing efforts, while it's great that you're doing them, right? The reality is that they're not really going to be getting seen by your ideal client very often. So, because you haven't built up a big audience to see that. Even, I don't know how many followers I have on Facebook. I have I think tens of thousands of followers. We will do a post sometime and 15 people will see it out of tens of thousands of followers, right? Like, Facebook is just not set up for that organic, like, oh, I'm going to build a ton of traffic and get a bunch of clients through just posting on Facebook, right? Instagram is a little bit more, but even still, like, you've really got to have a strategy behind it, right? And so that's where, we look at what are the different strategies. And so you've got to zero in and figure out what your specific strategy is going to be. Are you going to go all in on LinkedIn, right? There's a strategy for how to find clients on LinkedIn. Are you going to go all in on Instagram? There's a strategy on how to find clients via Instagram. Are you going to go all in Facebook groups? There's a strategy on how to find clients in Facebook groups. But here's the common theme in every one of those strategies. The common theme in every single one of these strategies is personal conversations and relationships. So whether you're engaging in a Facebook group, whether you're engaging on LinkedIn, or whether you're going to a live networking event, engagement is the key. We're not just spewing things out and saying, okay, I hope that people come to me, right? You actually need to be engaging and building relationships with people. Marketing your virtual assistant business is very relational. I think sometimes we think, oh, I have to have like this genius marketing brain. No, that's not true, right? Because you're not trying to build an email list of 100,000 people, or you're not trying to, create an Instagram or a TikTok with 100,000 followers. Like, that's not your goal. Building a huge audience isn't your goal right now, at least in your business, right? Your goal is making 4 to 7 connections of people that say, I want to work with you. Okay. It's relational. And so that's, I think, where a lot of us get tripped up, thinking, oh, I'm not going to be good at this. It's because I'm not good at marketing, right? But can you have conversations? And even if you're an introvert, right? That's one of the bonuses that we have when you join the SavvySystem Pro or Ultimate, is this marketing for introverts class. And it really shows you, okay, you don't even have to be an extrovert. You don't even have to be awesome at conversation. If you are, great, go to live networking events. That's what I always loved to do. But you can be just as successful behind the screen, but you do have to be relational. You do have to be engaging and actually forming those connections. Okay. So at least when you're first getting started. Now, there are more advanced marketing methods for once you have a few clients that it's like, okay, maybe now I do want to try to get on podcasts, or maybe now I do want to start my own YouTube channel, or I want to try to grow an Instagram, or I want to try to get clients via TikTok. There is a time for that. But when you're first starting out in your business, it's really about just making those first connections, those first relationships. Okay. I hope that helps. Let's keep going. So excited to be answering your questions, you guys. Um, there are, oh my gosh, guys, even during our little live training, there were people like, like posting links to places. You will just, these scammy scammers, I'm blocking them right now. Okay. People, if you see a link in the comments that's like not SavvySystem.com or not thevirtualsavvy.com/something, don't go to it. That's not us. Oh my gosh, people. Okay. Oh, this is a good question. Asking about Hello Savvy. Jennifer, thank you for asking. Hello Savvy has been my baby. It was one of those things that I, put my heart and soul into for 2 years, and it is not gone. I really want to emphasize that we see a version of Hello Savvy being released later this year. It's just, honestly, sometimes you put stuff out there and it sticks, and sometimes you put stuff back there and you're like, we need to go back to the drawing board. And that's what happened with Hello Savvy. And so thank you guys for those of you who did love it. For those of you guys who, gave us your feedback, you guys were so awesome throughout that whole process. And we heard you and we listened. And now we're like, okay, how do we rework this in a way that really meets you guys' needs, but meets clients' needs as well? And so we have some brainstorming going on behind the scenes. It will be coming back, but it will be in a different version, and it will be later this year. Sandy said, what are the best VA agencies to join? Great question. So I have a methodology, and so you don't have to agree with it, but I believe that every one of you guys is skilled enough to go out and get your own paying clients. I know that there's people who want to join a VA agency, and there are benefits to doing that. So working for somebody else, like belay virtual assistants, or even finding somebody who's looking for a subcontractor inside of our VA Savvies group. Like, there are benefits to being a subcontractor, but there are downfalls too. So one of the downfalls is that you're not going to get paid as much, right? You're going to be doing the same work but not getting paid as much because you're a subcontractor. That's the way it works. So But the trade-off is you don't have to do the marketing, right? Somebody else is actually getting the clients for you. I believe that with a step-by-step system on how to market, you can go out there and get your own paying clients, and you are in control of your own destiny. If you do go out and find an agency to work for, that's not what I teach. It's not something that I can really consult a whole lot on, because that's not something I personally ever did. I'm a big fan of, scaling my own business to whatever heights I want it to be. And I think that's a lot of you guys here too. But maybe you want to dip your toes. You're like, I just want a little bit of experience. Whatever you decide to do, whatever, if you end up signing on with one of these VA agencies, really, really take a look at your contract. Okay. And that's one of the most, I mean, always look at your contracts if you are a VA yourself, or if you are working for another agency. Always understand any contract that you sign, because I have seen VAs get into situations where they sign a non-compete without even realizing it, meaning that once you actually get going and you're like, oh, I can do VA work, maybe I'll try to get my own clients now. You literally can't legally, because you signed a contract. So I just want to be, you guys to be super aware of that. If you decide to go the agency route, that you really make sure what you're signing. Can you have clients outside of the agency? Is there, I mean, sometimes non-competes say that you can't get your own clients for like 2 years. I have a good friend who was in a situation like that. And so just really, really understand. It's why I'm a big fan of choosing your own destiny, starting your own business. There's really not a whole lot that you need to get started to start your own VA business and to get your own paying clients. So that's what I would recommend. Okay. Awesome. Here's another question. Do you recommend creating a new email or Google account instead of using personal email? So I really like this. So what I generally will do is I will buy my domain name. Once you guys have picked your business name, you'll buy your domain name. I buy all my domains on a website called Namecheap. Name cheap, right? Namecheap.com. There's other ones out there. I mean, you can buy domains through GoDaddy or, different sites, but Namecheap is where I personally buy my domains from. Then I use Google for my email. Again, you can get like usually a free email through like your domain provider, but it's usually really clunky. And I just personally like Gmail. Now it does cost, I believe, $6 a month. Okay. So know that going into it. So if you literally just Google like get a business email Gmail, then it will lead you through the process. I actually just did this like a week ago, and it was so, so easy. Now it does take about 48 hours to actually have it kick in to where you'll be able to to send and receive emails via your new Gmail account. But I totally recommend it. It is a business expense, $6 a month. So just one of those things that you'll have to lock into your head. But of the business expenses, like it's one that I would recommend doing sooner than later. I just think it really adds a professional tone to your email. So I would do that before even building a website, right? I would go ahead and buy my domain. I would go ahead and connect and have a business email. I would go ahead and set up my Facebook page, right? You can even have your domain just go to your Facebook page for a while. Like if I go to virtualassistantswithabby.com, that it actually just goes to my Facebook page, right? Wait on the website, wait on everything else. But that $6 a month reoccurring, if you're a Gmail fan, I think is really, really worth it. So I hope that that's helpful. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, this is a really great question. Jessica says, I'm not really stuck, but I keep going back to it. My packages, I don't want to underprice myself or overprice myself. So, Jessica, I would just really encourage you not to overthink this, right? Like, your packages, if you feel like they're a little bit, if you feel like they're a little bit underpriced, right? Then maybe like my recommendation is always in that $30 an hour range. Sometimes people go a little over, sometimes people go a little under, right? And so if you feel like, man, um I'm not at that point yet, put it there. If you're like, oh, I'm actually like way over that, then maybe reduce it a little bit and get your first paying client. And that's where the incremental pricing recipe comes in that we've talked about, right? You get your first paying client at $30 an hour. Then go change your portfolio. Guess what? Now my rates are $35 an hour. Awesome. Get your second one at 35, get your third one at 40. Over time, once you've been working with a client for a few months, you can go back and change. If you signed on a client at $20 an hour, in 3 months or so, go back and say, hey, I'm having to raise my prices if that's where you're at, right? And so this is kind of that back and forth. There are people out there that are just like, charge this much, you have to charge, like, go beyond what you're comfortable with, like charge your worth. Yes, please charge your worth, but also like you do have to be able to confidently say it. You have to be able to be like, my rates are $30 an hour, and you can say it confidently, and you can know if someone's not able to pay that, okay, you're not the right client for me. And so that's kind of that level of comfort that you just need to like just choose and just stick with it, get your first client at that rate, and then move up your clients with move up your rate with each new client. Okay. So I hope that that's helpful, Jessica. I know that it's difficult, but the more that you're just sitting, thinking about it is time spent not going out, getting clients. Marketing, marketing, marketing. That needs to be your number one goal whenever you are new in your VA business, is getting out there and getting clients. If you are going over your packages again, if you're going over your website again, if you're spending 2 weeks thinking of a business name, guys, action over perfection. We've just got to move the ball forward. Okay. So proud of you guys. I'm seeing so many of you do that already inside of the Savvy system. We are seeing so many of our students just make quick decisions. And the people who make quick decisions are the ones that really find the most success the fastest inside of our programs. Okay. Oh, this is a great question, Tara. I have a current product-based business, not sure how to incorporate a VA business into that, or should I keep it completely separate? So, Tara, I can tell, I'm thinking that your business is Tarabella Soaps, that you create soaps. And because that is such a unique business and it's product-based, I really would separate it if it were me. I just feel like you're just talking to two totally separate audiences. Now, if you were talking to the same audience, right? So let's say that you were somebody who you sold planners for business owners, you sold digital planners for business owners, and you also do VA services. Okay, you're talking to the same ideal audience, right? But because your audiences are different, I would definitely have two separate websites and two separate brands. Good question. I want to do this as you guys are dropping more questions in the chat. I wanted to take a moment to show you guys inside the Savvy system, because this is one of the questions that we're getting, is what does it actually look like to be inside the course, to be a member of the Savvy system? What does that actually look like? So just as a reminder, we are enrolling in the Savvy system right now. This enrollment is only open until February 3rd. So you guys have, about 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks to decide if you want to join for this cohort. We will open again September. And so, if this is the time, or if you think, oh man, maybe this month, but next month, I don't want to wait till September, this is the time to get in. And as a reminder, we do have a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you're looking at this and you are like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure, as long as you do our pro or ultimate, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. So you can come in, you can check it out. You can actually go through some of the lessons and decide, is this for me or not? Okay. So let me give you a quick sneak peek inside the course, because I think it's actually really cool to see what you're actually getting inside of this program. And I think I'll see if I can make this a little bigger. Can I? Yeah, there we go. All right, you see that a little better. Okay, so whenever you join the Savvy system, you're not just getting this course, you are getting access to our communities. We have live streams, you're getting access to, unlimited proposal reviews, as long as you're in the pro or the ultimate. And if you're in the ultimate, you're also getting a totally separate niche and industry training course. So that has, 70 plus tech courses on Kajabi, on Canva, on ConvertKit, on how to be a real estate VA. That's the tools you need to niche down and raise your prices if you choose Ultimate. But if you choose Savvy System, this is teaching you how to start a business with the skills that you already have. So what's included in it? Well, you can see there's 122 lessons included inside of the course, and each one of these lessons is specifically laid out in a way that's going to help help you get success. So our beginning intro is really just like how to access your materials, goal setting, how we do our milestones program. We've got this really cool virtual assistant dictionary, which I think is fun. So you can actually go in and download like a PDF document that shows you that has different worksheets, that has different things that you'll need in order to be successful. And it's actually going to tell you like what is onboarding, what is ClickUp, there's like an actual definition guidebook, which I think is really fun. So the first thing that we do is discover your skill set. So we talk about what services you're going to offer, to niche or not to niche. We talk about mindset and money, like how to actually package your service. And so every single one of these lessons, like as you go through it, you see it's a video lesson, and some of them are longer than others. This one's a 20-minute lesson. So, I mean, I'll just show it to you real quick. All right, everybody, in this lesson, we are going to be talking about packaging your services. Whenever you have so it's an actual like video lesson, right? And so we teach you, these are different types of packages. You can do hourly rate pricing, project-based pricing, retainer pricing, or usable hours pricing. Every single lesson has assignments. Your assignments in this lesson are decide on the pricing model that you want to use and divide up your services into packages using the downloadable workbook below. Okay. So we literally have like pages, assignments, downloads, workbooks. Note, if you live in California or New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, you're going to want to watch this extra video. Every single lesson has these assignments in it. So it's really step by step. We encourage you just go to the first lesson. Boom, boom. You're going to have your business name. You're going to have your logo. You're going to have a brand board created. As you work through the lessons, you literally are creating your business. Okay. We have where you'll create your Facebook page, where you'll create a portfolio, how to onboard your new client, right? What does it actually look like? We have an onboarding checklist that we have you complete and create for yourself, right? And so is it a lot of work? Yes, it's a lot of work, but you will never be asking yourself, what do I do next? Right? And that's really our biggest goal. We have an entire legalities section where we give you a contract, but we also talk to you about how to choose your legal entity. What about state requirements and insurance, right? Like, do I need to have anything else for my business? Yes, you likely do. We teach you how to be legal inside of your business. Marketing, we talk about value first marketing. We have this really amazing facing objections lesson. Oh my goodness. We identify what is the snag and what are the most common objections that people if they're saying, your rates are too expensive or this isn't the right time, what do you respond with? We literally have like a whole PDF for how you respond to facing those objections. And then we have our marketing plan, how to find jobs on Facebook, how to do market research meetings, how to go do local networking events, right? And we have even more. We have all of these different methods on how to find clients, right? Then we go back to, let's see. I got myself. Okay, now we're back to modules. How to raise your prices, the virtual assistant lifestyle. This is one of my favorite lessons because we talk about how to deal with difficult clients, right? Asking for testimonials. We have a time management module. We talk about self-care, transitioning to full-time. This is one of my favorite lessons. If you are working a 9 to 5, how do you transition to full-time as a sole provider of your family? How do you get health insurance? How do you plan for taxes? How do you plan for retirement if you're working a 9 to 5 and then going into being a full-time VA? So this is why, we've had people do our course compared to other courses, and hands down, every person that's ever reviewed our course versus other course says that ours is the most comprehensive. And I think you can see why, right? Like we literally cover everything inside of this course on how to launch, grow, and begin scaling your business, how to subcontract, how to hire, right? Project management platforms, everything is included inside this course. And you're not just getting the course, you're also getting in Pro and Ultimate, you're also getting access to the community. You're also getting access to our live streams where you can come and ask us questions. So you're not doing this alone. So I wanted to give you guys a chance just to see that, because sometimes it's nice just to be like, oh, behind the scenes, this is what I'm actually getting, right? So if you have more questions about the Savvy System, drop them here. You can also go to SavvySystem.com. Our team is available via chat. And yeah, just ask us the questions that you have. We are here to answer them. All right, let's go back into a little bit of a Q&A time. What questions do you have? Oh, this is so exciting. So one of the first lessons inside of the course is our outreach email assignment. The outreach email assignment works so well for me. I just had my first discovery call with a person from my sphere of influence. That's so incredible. Oh, I'm so happy, guys. The system works when you work the system. I love it. Jenny said, what is a VA agency? So we were talking about working for an agency. So when you start a virtual assistant business, it's you, right? Like it is me personally offering services to other small business owners. As you begin to grow your business, sometimes you grow beyond what you can actually work, right? So let's say you can work 20 hours a week and you're working 20 hours. Like you have people paying for those packages, and you're like, I can't take on any more clients. So you can either do a waiting list, say that I'm full, right? Or you can begin bringing on subcontractors. And so what that means is that people are paying your agency to get the work done, but you're not personally doing all the work, right? You're paying other people to actually do the fulfillment, and then you pass it on to your clients. That's a VA agency in essence. And so there are some really big name VA agencies out there. I mean, I have friends who have $1 million plus agencies, right? And so you can actually go and work for just an agency as a subcontractor. But that's what I'm saying, what we were talking about earlier, where you have to be really careful, because a lot of times, you know, you'll be doing work that's worth $30, $40 an hour, but only getting paid $12, $13 an hour for it, because they're a subcontractor. I mean, that's the way it works, and that's fine. But just, you have to know that going in ahead of time, and you want to make sure that you're not signing any kind of non-compete if you decide to work for an agency. What I would rather you guys do is, start your own business, build it, scale it, and then have your own subcontractors, right? I mean, that's where the money's at. That's where the freedom is at, in my opinion. Oh, Jackie, hey girl. Yes, Jackie is an OG of the system. Oh my gosh, Jackie, when did you join? You joined back in was it like 2017, 2018? Jackie's been in the system for a long time. She says, if you're on the fence, just do it. I love it. Love, love, love everything that you're doing, Jackie. Let's see. Oh, here's a good question. Denise said, what systems would you recommend for communicating with clients? I want to find a better way to share content, calendars, and content to my clients. I'm using a Word document at the moment. Okay, so, oh my goodness, there's so many different ways. So project management tools, some of my favorites are ClickUp, Trello, and Asana. Those would be my favorite project management systems. Now, I mean, ClickUp is really great because even though it's complex, right? Like there is a learning curve. We do have, if you choose Ultimate, we do have a ClickUp course, so that will help you. But ClickUp, while it is really, really, there's a lot to it, there's a lot you can do with it too. And so I like that it has a calendar. I like that you can, you know, like you can attach images. I love that you can, you know, share certain folders with your clients. I really, really like that. So that's one option, is ClickUp. You know, and then another option is other softwares do have calendars as well. One of the things that I used to do when I was creating a content calendar is I used to use something, it's free. It's called TeamUp, TEAMUP, teamup.com. And TeamUp is just kind of like a standalone calendar that you could create content calendars on. So I could have a different calendar for each one of my clients. Again, that's kind of a makeshift system, because that's not a project management tool. It's just a calendar, but that is an option. Let's see. I have a question. I want to gear toward Etsy sellers since I have an Etsy shop. Oh, I definitely 100% Leanne. What you're going to want to do, and this is really within any industry, because there are Etsy sellers who are making money and there's Etsy sellers who aren't making money. Just like there's Instagrammers who are making money and those who aren't. There are YouTubers who are making money and those who aren't, right? And so you want to make sure that you are probably targeting Etsy owners who really are getting a lot of sales, and you can see that. That's one of the nice thing about Etsy, is that you can really see how popular a shop is, right? And so literally using like one of our cold outreach templates inside of the Savvy system to reach out to Etsy owners, and there's like a whole strategy behind cold outreach. A tool that I started using recently is called Woodpecker, and Woodpecker is a way that you can like not just send one email, but if they don't open the email, send like a couple follow-up emails, which is really awesome. And so you could target Etsy owners. Another way that you could find Etsy owners is, where are they hanging out, right? What social media accounts are they following, right? What Facebook groups are they a part of? You could potentially start your own Facebook group for Etsy store owners, right? And really and become the go-to expert for those people. So there's just a lot of ways that you can reach those specific clients, and I definitely think that that could be a very profitable niche. So great idea, especially if you already know that space. I love when people choose niches that they know because they've been in it. Like, oh, I did real estate and now I'm a real estate VA. Awesome. Like if you already have a connection to that industry, you might even know people. Like, do you know other Etsy owners? I'm pretty sure there's like makers conferences, right? Like people who are crafters and makers. Like, could you go to those conferences? Could you go to those meetup groups? I think that that could be a really, really incredible niche. Can you imagine setting up a booth, like a virtual assistant booth at a makers conference, like a crafters conference, like a big one? I mean, it'd be money, but man, that'd be really cool. Okay. I'm not sure if I should choose an LLC as a single member or an S corp. I'm not making a whole lot, but I'd like to know which recommend for tax benefits. Great question. So I'm not a tax expert. I am not an accountant, so do not take my advice as tax advice. However, generally speaking, you would not choose S corp until it's going to benefit you tax wise. And generally speaking, an S corp doesn't benefit you tax wise until you are making, in like the upper six figures. So most of our VAs, when they form an LLC, they form it as a single member LLC. Hopefully that's helpful. Oh, this is such a good question, and I would actually love in the chat for you guys to answer, because you're going to start getting this a lot as you start your business and you start telling people about your business. Is just what you should be doing. You should be telling people about your business. You should be telling people about this incredible thing that you've started, this new journey that you're on. As you begin telling people about your business, they're going to say, "What's a VA?" And you need to be able to answer that. That would be like, there's not a whole lot that you have to have answers for as a VA. Like, if someone asks you a question via email, a client asks a question, you usually have time to be like, let me look that up, but you do need to pretty much immediately be able to answer this question. So I'd love to see how you guys answer it. I'll tell you how I answer it. So when going to networking events, especially when I was first starting out, people would say, what do you do? Oh, I'm Abby Ashley. I'm a virtual assistant. What's a virtual assistant, right? You get that question a lot. What I would say is, essentially, a virtual assistant takes tasks off of small business owners' plate. So I do social media management, I do blogging, I do customer service emails. And so instead of paying a full-time or a part-time employee to come into your workspace, to have to provide equipment for them, to have to pay into, Social Security and all those things for that, you just pay me as a contractor to work as many hours as you actually need. So I do, smaller packages. Maybe you only need 10 hours of admin assistance a month. You can hire me for just 10 hours a month. So that's essentially what I do. So that's how I would answer it. And I really like answering with specific things, because if you just say I do general administrative tasks for small business owners, people are going to be like, what's that? But if you actually start listing off some of your services, I do email management, I do travel research and booking, I do customer service emails, I do social media management, whatever it is that you're actually going to be doing, it will click. People are like, Oh, yeah, I guess all those tasks can be done remotely. Yes, yes, they can, right? So, that is what I would recommend. Great questions, guys. These are awesome. Ooh, I picked the name. It's efficient, Emma. But after watching the class this week, I want to build an agency one day. You know, I have seen people like. I think I really like that name. I think that that's fun, and I have seen people do larger businesses even with, I mean, like, ask Jeeves, right? Like, I don't know, was Jeeves ever a real guy that you asked stuff to? I don't know, maybe not, but, like, I think that you can have a brand just around that. Like, that to me doesn't necessarily say that it's just one specific person. I think you could still build that into an agency, but it's your preference. If you're like, "Oh, that just seems too personal, and I don't think that that would work," then no, I think you could change it too. Whatever you decide. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that name because I think it's really cute. um, let's see. Okay. Ooh, yay! We have a Savvy System student that is almost done with her branding board. Yay! I can't wait to see you post it in the group. So exciting. You really have been because you just joined. You really have been really going through the assignments fast. That's awesome. Action over perfection. Oh, this is a great question. Does the Savvy System cover how to make my own agency when I'm ready for that? Yes. So, again, we're going back to the actual course itself here. Let me, oh, these are all of our bonuses and everything. Let me actually get back to the Savvy System course. One second. Um, Hold on, guys. Let me get this ready for you and then I'll share my screen. Okay, Savvy System. Here we go. Okay, so again, this is what you get when you join the course. You get the actual content, 122 lessons, all the modules, the workbooks, the assignments, all of that. You get all of that, and the community, as long as you're, pro or ultimate, so you can ask your questions. So the course is basically broken into three sections. Launch is getting your business set up. Like, I need to choose my services, I need to create my packages, I need to do my business name and create a logo, I need to create a Facebook page. These are all the things that you do before you really start marketing your business. That's launch. The next section is grow. Grow is all about getting clients. It is marketing, marketing, marketing. Everything you would ever want to know about marketing and how to get clients is going to be in the grow section. Okay. We also have our website development inside of the grow section and virtual assistant lifestyle inside of the grow section. Okay. So that's kind of that like middle. I've launched my business. Now I'm growing it. But what about scaling? So scaling, we talk about, really deciding on the future of your business. Do you want an agency? Do you want to just keep doing high-end services yourself? Like, what do you want to do? And then if you want to choose a high-end service, like if you want to niche down and start, raising, having higher prices, things like that, we talk about transitioning to high-end services, and then we talk about building a team. So this is where that how to start subcontracting, start to create workflows and processes. This is all about how to start creating an agency. Now, we do have, because at this point in your business, we do start seeing that people need a little bit more attention. We do have a coaching program called Savvy Circle, that if you're already making about $2,000 a month in your business and you are really wanting like a more coaching tight knit community. It's a year-long program that people go through, called Savvy Circle. And so that's kind of the next step. But a lot of what we teach is, these beginning lessons. It's just kind of a little bit more hand holding and live streams for that specific place in your business. So yes, do we teach it inside of the Savvy System? We absolutely do. But we do have a secondary program for when you reach that point, if that's something you're interested in. Oh, this is so great. We have another Savvy System member. I just finished the services module. I love how detailed it is. Although I had an idea of what I wanted to do. I couldn't skip this lesson. Yes. Oh my gosh. We're so excited for you. Oh my goodness. Yes. I went through the first part of the course very fast and then I hit the brakes hard on the outreach email. I have a bit of fear about that. Any suggestions on how to overcome that and be confident in sending it out? So Monique, I totally understand that. I would love to know what's driving that fear. Like what are you fearing will happen when you send that out? Are you fearing that, is it a fear of rejection, right? Is it a fear that like I'm afraid what people are gonna say, right? Is it a fear that like no one's gonna say anything? Is it a fear that you don't have your systems and processes set up enough? Some people will wait to do that outreach until they have a little bit more until they have a little bit more set up in your business. So you can choose to do that. We add that section on, it's called the Get Clients Now section. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's for people who are like, I just need money like yesterday, right? So we give you an opportunity. Here's how to get clients fast. I mean, you even saw in the comments, we had one student who said, hey, I did that outreach email and I'm already had my first discovery call. It works, but you have to be prepared for like, it could work, right? And so some people want to get their ducks in a row a little bit more before they send it out. So it's totally up to you. I recommend sending it out because I think the faster you can get that marketing ball rolling, the better. And that will kind of be that fire under your butt to like, oh man, now I have a discovery call. Now I got to get down to the discovery call lesson, right? Like it does kind of put that into place. But if you're just not ready for that, if you're one of those people that you're like, no, I have to have it all set up first, you can come back to the outreach email as long as you promise me that you come back to it. Okay. You can't come and say this didn't work or this didn't happen if you never went out and started marketing your business. Okay. So you do have to come back to it. That's the promise that you have to make. Okay. Let's see here. Such good questions. Um, for the 40-hour package tier, is this recommended for people who work full time? I don't know if I should lower my hours like 10, 15, 30, then add the 40 hours later on. So generally, so I think you're speaking about the when we did our challenge last week and we talked about creating packages, I gave you the example of like 10, 20, 30, 40 sorry, 10, 20, and 40-hour packages. Note that those are monthly packages. So if a client signs a 40-hour a month package, then they are doing 10 hours a week for you or with you respectively, right? So that means that in the month of February, I will work 40 hours for your business, with which averages out to about 10 hours a week. So you can sell a 40-hour per month package even if you're working full time. You just probably don't want to sell 4 of them, right? Like you'll have to stair step your way into it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I generally recommend doing monthly packages and not weekly packages. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, you do what's your comfort level. Like if you would rather have a 10, 20, 30, go for it. If you want a 20, 40, 60, a 20, 40, 80, that's great too. It really depends on what you can currently do at your point in your business and your life. So great questions. Oh, Emma asked this question. When should we try to start an email list? Would a time management template or some sort of planner work as a freebie? Okay. So Emma, I totally hear you, girl. There are so many people talking about you need an email list, you need an email list, you need an email list. And I agree. And it's one of the things we actually teach in Savvy Circle is how to build an email list. I do not recommend it at the beginning. Again, it is one of those like bigger strategies that it's just not the fastest way to get clients. The fastest way to get clients is by having those one-to-one conversations, those one-on-one relationships. Remember, you need 4 to 7 people to say yes to your services to replace your full-time income. So those 4 to 7 people, usually speaking, when you're starting a VA business, isn't going to come because they downloaded your freebie and then watched your webinar and then booked a call and then, read your emails, all of this. I love for everyone to have an email list. Like I do not regret ever starting my email list. Like that email list is my life source now, now that I sell courses and digital products and things like that. So if you plan to do that in the future or you plan to have an agency, by all means start an email list, but first sell out your services. That's the point where I tell people to start. It's like at what point should I start an email list? After, if you have 20 hours a week that you can work, book out your services first and then start working on an email list. I think that's the perfect timing in my own personal opinion. People might disagree with me, but I think that and why do that? It's all a distraction. I want money in your pocket as soon as possible because there's just something that happens. We call it the first client hump. When you get that first client and you're like, oh my gosh, this is actually real. Like I can actually make money doing this. It again, it lights that fire under your butt that keeps you going. You're like, oh, I can do this. We have found that if people delay that process, so if it's like, man, I've got to have a website, I have to have a freebie, I have to start an email list, I need to take this ClickUp course, I need to we have people who will literally spend 6 months, 8 months setting up everything in their business and never get to marketing and then be like, well, it didn't work. I'm so burnt out. I've been doing my business for 8 months and I don't have any clients because you haven't marketed, right? So you've got to get out and actually do the relational marketing, the things that we teach inside of the course, which are our connection marketing. Okay. So prioritize that, book out your services with that type of marketing, and then we can move on to higher level marketing, like building an email list, starting a blog, going on podcasts, things like that. But I believe that that is phase 2. So good. I love this. Oh, great question. How do I market my business as a podcast manager who's looking for clients? So, the key to marketing is go where your audience is, go to where your people are. So, a podcast manager is your audience is someone who has not just a podcast. I would beg to say a successful podcast, meaning that they have some traction, right? So I mean, this is again things like this is it's really nice because you can go and you can see what are the top. If it was me, what I would do is I would join podcast groups, right? So I would join Facebook groups, and then I would go to um, I would search top 100 or top 20, top 50, whatever, top 20 health podcasts, top 20 keto podcasts, top 20 sports podcasts, top 20 mom podcasts, top 20 business podcasts, right? And just start like top 20 author podcasts, right? Because if you can go through and find all these different niches and start looking at who are the top podcasters, and then start. I honestly would start with cold outreach. I think that that is a way. It's not the only way, and some people don't like it, but it is a way to start building relationship. But you have to do cold outreach well. So don't just do icky cold outreach, like do it well. We show you how to do it in the Savvy system. There is a way that it can actually work. Okay. Great client. Great questions. Do I need to register my business as an LLC before signing my first client? Can I move forward with an EIN as a sole proprietor? So, generally speaking, you need to check your state and local requirements, but generally speaking, you should be able to just move forward with an EIN as a sole proprietor. Okay. Your LLC is there to protect your assets. It's not something like when you get taxed, you're going to get taxed the same whether you have an LLC or not. That LLC is literally just saying essentially the like most basic version of why would I want an LLC? If someone sues you, they're suing the business and not you. Like that's the very 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 basic version. It's asset protection. That's, limited liability company. You are limiting your liability so you're not personally responsible if something goes down, right? But you're going to be taxed the same way. So it really doesn't change the way your business is run to have an LLC. It just adds that extra layer of protection over you. So when you choose to do that is your decision. Some of you guys choose to do that sooner, some of you choose to do that later. Like I said, check your state and local requirements. We teach you how to do that in the course, and see if you have to have an LLC to operate. But in most cases, you don't have to. Okay. Um, so good, you guys. These questions. Oh, yay! Ellen's joining the course. Welcome, Ellen. We're so excited for you. I can't wait to see you inside the program. If anybody else is thinking about taking the leap, again, you can go to SavvySystem.com. Over 200 students have joined. There's a lot of momentum, and you guys are seeing even in the comments, people are like, "Oh, I just did this assignment. I just did this. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here," because we are movers and we are shakers inside of this course, and we get stuff done. So if you've been like, man, I need that accountability, I need that step-by-step program, I'm the kind of person that's like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Like I just follow a program really really well. Like I'll just give me the program, I'll follow the program. Like I can do assignments, right? I can be a good student. If that is you, this course is 100% for you. There's a money back guarantee. SavvySystem.com. Yay, I'm so excited. good. So, so, so good. We are so pumped for you. Um, let's see. This is a good question for registration as an LLC. Do I need my personal home address? So you should be able to do it under a PO box, but again, you're gonna have to pay for a PO box. I believe so. You'll have to. You might have to ask whoever you are getting your LLC through if you can use a PO box. I'm actually not sure about that. That's a really good question. But for all other intents and purposes, a PO box I believe works for pretty much most things that you can do. And I understand not wanting to have your physical address. But again, that becomes another one of those business expenses that you have to decide if that's worth it to go ahead and invest in now or to do later. Um, okay. Tiffany said, so glad to read about your start as a VA in your email. I didn't know you were a nanny and hated it. Yes, 100%. I was not a very good nanny. I love my own kids, but man, yeah, I was not a great nanny. I was like, I need a creative outlet. I need to not just be around children. Oh, yay. Floretta said, I joined last night. Yay. We're so excited for you, Floretta. That's amazing. I hope that you are enjoying the course so far. All right. Well, guys, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much again for joining me. Don't forget February 3rd, that is the final day to sign up for the Savvy System. We love you guys. We love seeing the progress that you're making in your business, guys. These stories of transformation, like, yes, you're just entering in now and you're having these quick wins. You're getting your logo, you're getting your brand board, you are, reaching out to your first potential client. Some of you guys have already gotten a first discovery call, right? Like I love hearing those stories. But for me, it's the Jackies that show up years later, right? Like she was on earlier. It's the individuals that are like, no, Abby, like I'm living my freedom life. Like I quit my 9 to 5. I'm living on my own terms. I had this job that I hated and now I get to do what I love. Abby, I'm not only making income, but I'm providing income for other people. I have a subcontracting team of 14 people now, and now I'm providing income for them as well and making their freedom life possible. Like the trickle down to this it just gets me so excited, guys. Like this has the potential to not just change you, it has the potential to change your life, but generations to come, the people around you, the ripple effect, the business owners that you're going to be helping with the skills that you have. Like there's so much that I love about virtual assistants. I don't know if you can tell that I'm a little passionate about it. It means so much to me. So if that's something you want, check out the Savvy System. We would love to have you come alongside us. Yes, thank you so much again, guys. Have an awesome rest of the day.